Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone back to another episode on BizWestMichigan. I'm really excited. Today we've got John Schulte. John is the Chief Information Officer at Mercantile Bank of Michigan. I'm pretty excited because they are one of our launch sponsors of BizWestMichigan. A little bit of background on John. He has been with Mercantile almost 15 years. He was one of the founding team members of the bank when they started it. And on the education side, he's pretty impressive, actually. He is a grad of the Stonier School of Banking, which is part of the Wharton School of Business at University of Pennsylvania. And he's also a West Michigan grad. He and his wife, Kara, live with their two daughters in Walker, Michigan. So without further ado, John, welcome to BizWestMichigan.
Hey, thanks for having me, Rob.
You're welcome. So, obviously with, the business community in West Michigan, Mercantile pretty much stands out. You guys have been a pretty integral part of the finance community within West Michigan for the business community for almost 15 years now. Why don't you, if you can, just give us a little bit of an overview maybe of Mercantile, what you guys are doing, what's going on, and we'll start there.
Sure. We're celebrating our 15th year anniversary coming up here, and it's hard to believe that time has flown that fast. We've had a lot of fun building this bank and working in the community. We started back in '97 wanting to be the strongest business-focused bank in the community. We felt there was a real need for still to have a community, a local decision making bank that can do commercial loans, and certainly we wanted to handle our customers' personal business as well. So we started with that kind of mission and really kind of took off from there. We had tremendous growth over the next 10 years and got through the bumps of the last couple of years very well, I think, without too many scars. And we're still out there lending money, working with customers, and trying to do some innovative things. So,
I'm going to jump ahead a little bit here because you said innovative things. Obviously with a lot of the stuff that I get to do on the internet and everything else, there's some notoriety to Mercantile as far as what's going on from a technology perspective and the fact that some of the things that you guys were truly pioneers nationally on. Why don't you share a little bit about that? Your partnership with PayPal.
Yeah, we're very proud of some of the things we've done. There's a misconception, I think, out there that the big banks always have the best technology and the best stuff, and I've been my lifelong goal to prove that wrong. And one of the things that we've done here, we were the first bank in the world to partner with PayPal to enable person-to-person payments on mobile devices, which is gone very well. We were the first bank in the world to partner with Bill.com on the business side to allow for outsourcing of accounts receivable and accounts payable services. And we're working on our second generation of iPad and iPhone and Android apps. And we just announced this week that we have a partnership now with the folks at Intuit on these mobile card scanners, so it complements all the other mobile payment capabilities that we have out there today. So we're excited about that.
Why don't you tell me a little bit more about that? That's a pretty big deal because I know that everybody's talking about the Square, the Cube, or whichever that one is that you can you have to pay like $10 for plus the fees. Tell us a little bit about that. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah. First of all, in this particular case, we don't charge for the device. It's a real nice program, very affordable. Swipe rates on it. There's no monthly fees. There's no monthly minimums.
Wow.
Really easy sign-up process. It's great for someone who works out of their home, has a home-based business, or if you give music lessons, or if you're even kid mowing the lawn for your neighbors. You can accept credit cards. It's a real neat technology, and it complements what we have with mobile remote deposit capture, so you can take a picture of your check. Now you can take the credit card, and we also have the PayPal piece, so you can really transact business anywhere you go.
Now, do you have to have a commercial account or an account, obviously, within Mercantile to be able to accept those payments and do that kind of stuff, right?
Well, we'd like you to. That's an obvious goal. But if you're looking for something like this, come talk to us. Even if you don't have a banking relationship with us, we could probably help you out. But we'd certainly like you to consider Mercantile for other reasons. Because if you're interested in that, you're probably interested in some of our other products and services that we have to offer that are pretty cool. So.
Wow, that's interesting, and that's one of the things that One of the things that I absolutely love about what I get to do with BizWestMichigan now is I'm talking to a bunch of different business people and at all levels within organizations. I mean, I'm talking to social media people and chief information officers like yourself and CEOs and presidents and VP of sales. And, it's interesting because what I know about the banking industry through Superior and some others, you guys just keep coming up, and I don't want this to turn into me promoting Mercantile by any means, but
I don't mind.
Yeah, you and Michelle Shangraw would be like, yay, but it just keeps coming back up that you guys really focus on service. You guys really kind of go the extra route, and the thing that I like to see with you guys and some of the other small, I don't want to say smaller banks, but regional banks. I don't want to say community because that's kind of a different thing too. But you're really going and trying to understand what's going on in their business so that you can adapt and help them take advantage of either services or products that you've got. Why don't you talk a little bit about maybe what makes you guys unique from that standpoint?
Yeah, I think we fill a special place in the market that a lot of customers appreciate. We kind of, you have the credit unions on one end of the spectrum that I think do a real good job with taking care of their customers, but a lot of their capabilities are pretty limited on the technology side, and they certainly don't do a lot in the business side of things. And we bring to the table the relationship kind of aspect that you get with a local community bank or credit union. We have that. And the average tenure of our lenders here is a long time. We have very experienced people as a rule, not only on the lending side, the business relationship managers, but even down to the customer service representatives and some of our operational support people. They've all had a lot of experience, and they stay at Mercantile. So you get a consistency, a continuity of your connections that you build here at the bank. And again, we're right here in Grand Rapids, so when there's a problem, we've even had operational support people go out to people's houses or their businesses, and it's not a problem. We can offer that real intense level of customer service, and we can bring on top of that, I think, some of the best technology solutions out there, some of the more innovative things that are happening in the banking world, or even outside the banking world as we're expanding into some of these small business services that we're offering. So we fill kind of a nice little niche, I think, if you're not getting the type of service you want at the big bank, or you're just not feeling like you can get the type of needs fulfilled at the smaller places, we're right there, I think, in the nice little Goldilocks, just right kind of position to help service your needs.
Well, I know that obviously the past couple of years, nobody wants to hear about the debacle that we've had from a banking industry and really a general overall business economy standpoint. But that was some pretty tough times and pretty scary for not only the businesses in West Michigan, but also for you guys as a business in West Michigan. And I think that's one of the things that that I think gets overlooked, whether it's you guys or whether it's a couple of other banks that were here. I always go back to the whole Tom Sawyer. News of your death was, or news of many of their deaths was greatly exaggerated, and the trouble that was there was a lot of gossip. But you guys have had some pretty big challenges, from an industry standpoint. Maybe tell us a little bit how you guys overcame those. Not so much from an internal operational standpoint, I understand that, but just from a technology standpoint and an information standpoint. I mean, that's probably been pretty tough for you guys as a CIO, managing your business within Mercantile over the past couple of years. Why don't you share some of that?
Yeah, we take we live and breathe with our customers here in West Michigan. There's all that stuff that happened in New York and on Wall Street that really didn't matter much here in West Michigan, except that it hurt a lot of people. It hurt us too, and as our customers suffered, we suffered too. The nice thing that carried us through was we were able to maintain a strong capital position. So from a financial health standpoint, we were able to ride that little bit of a wild ride with enough security and safety, behind the bank. So it wasn't a matter of we just are glad to see that West Michigan's turning around and our customers are doing better, because that's how we survive. If our customers are doing well, we'll be doing well. And then from a technology standpoint, I guess it allowed us to reevaluate some things in terms of how we operate our business. What do we want to be to our customers, and it forced us maybe to get a little creative in terms of stepping outside the bounds of what a traditional bank does. So that's what got us thinking about, how do we use technology to help our businesses survive, to help them become more efficient, to help them manage their risks better, to help come up with better cash flow management solutions. And not only that, but on the personal side, our individual customers, how do we help them, with their own personal financial management, bringing them some FinanceWorks tools to manage their budget and expenses. So we're trying to help our customers at that level, and that need is definitely out there with the way the last couple of years have went. So we've tried to get a little creative there in the things that we have to offer, and then looking at how we grow and survive as a business too. We're looking at how do we make technology a part of that, and I think we're doing some pretty innovative things. Obviously, the mobile banking channel is very important to our customers, and it's a very convenient access point, so we're trying to make that a central focus of what we do going forward. But we're also looking at how do we develop a physical presence using technology, making that technology personal, though. That's pretty key, because we want to still offer the same level of personal service that our customers have known and loved, but maybe using technology to use that a little differently.
If you could, maybe we could talk a little bit about, I know that, from a personal standpoint, and some of my friends and family, they get a little wonky when it comes to technology and money and really taking advantage of some of the technologies. Why don't we touch real quick about, if we can, just on an overall level, from a banking standpoint, of the security and how safe it really is to use the technologies now.
Yeah, and that's key. I think for people who feel comfortable, you have to know that your money's protected. And I'll say up front that consumer customers and business customers, we go a long ways towards trying to protect the integrity of their position, their money. We take a layered approach to our security. I mean, obviously, I won't go into a lot of detail giving away some of the secrets we use, but our philosophy is that there is no one approach that will really combat all the different criminals out there. But at the end of the day, the bank's going to make our customers right if something did happen. But we look at what we're doing on the mobile channels and on the online channels as some of the best security that we've had in a long time. I mean, the traditional fraud that hits banks was checks, and to some degree that's still another problem out there. The paper checks can get copied and done really well. It hasn't really hit so much on the online channel. The card fraud is still prevalent out there.
But that's going to be, that's overall. But I guess with, more and more people are willing to start doing electronic banking. More and more people are willing to do mobile banking. And I guess, where I kind of wanted to go was, there have been huge strides. And there's also, there's basic requirements that people don't understand, that it's probably safer now for them to do mobile and electronic banking than it is to not. So I guess that's kind of where I wanted to go. Is I know that
yeah, absolutely. A good example of that is you carry a debit card around, carry a credit card around. If you left that at a gas station or you left it at a restaurant somewhere, it may take you a few hours or a day even to remember that you left it in that card.
My wife. That's great.
Yeah. and you don't know what can happen with that card. Someone could theoretically ring up a lot of charges against that card over that time period. And the dirty little secret is that banks are responsible for that. Even if you Rob, you messed up or your wife messed up,
she's in the other room.
If you had fraudulent transactions, we stand behind it, and that's the way it works. A lot of the media get that wrong, I think, and portray that the main risk is on the customer, but it's truly not. But carrying that forward, think about your phone. If you left your phone somewhere, number one, you're going to probably notice that that's missing quicker than if your debit card was missing. And then think of all the protection that's on that device. Typically, I have on my iPhone, it's password protected to even unlock it.
Right.
And the mobile banking applications within there are password protected and secure. So there's a lot more layers on these mobile devices to protect you than even with the traditional cards and checks.
Right. So I guess the overall takeaway of that is again, if they're using Mercantile, great. But all of the banks, the whole channel there is and I know that part of what you guys really focus on is helping your customers maximize their money and the use of their money and access to their money, and that can be done electronically and via mobile as well. So why don't we talk a little bit real quick about kind of what kind of trends maybe you're seeing right now in the business community, and how you guys are kind of adapting to those, and what you're doing for maybe some of your customers. You don't have to name your customers, obviously. If you want to, that's great. But kind of what you're seeing in from a trend standpoint and what we can take advantage of.
Well, on really personal and business customers, there is the technology out there changes, which really tablets and smartphones have really taken off, both in the business world and the consumer world. The demand is there, I think, to do more robust things on those devices and have access that to do things transactionally. So the trends right now are where, how does this affect how you conduct business?
Right.
Both if you're a merchant, how do you accept all these new different payment mechanisms, and if you're a consumer, how do you take advantage of the convenience of these things? And there's still a lot of upheaval out there. The existing infrastructure for handling payments traditionally is still there. A lot of businesses are pretty wary about investing in new technology, not knowing what standard's going to take priority. So we're seeing everybody right at the cusp of that change, but the way we look at money traditionally is changing. So
right.
Cash and checks and kind of the old way of doing business is getting replaced with more convenient, more secure methods that people are just starting now to adjust to. So that's really changing. And then in other areas of the banking world, I think banks are changing the way they look at how they deliver their services to customers. For example, the traditional branches that banks build and you see on every corner, those are very expensive and to build and maintain. And I think a lot of banks are reevaluating how to deliver the services that are offered there, but use technology to do it. And a good example is what we're doing. We partnered with Grand Valley on the new Seidman Center downtown, and we're excuse me, I'm going to send that to voicemail. And we're putting in a virtual teller solution. It's an ATM, but it's not just an ATM. It's a video teller where you can actually walk up to it, pick up the handset, and talk to a real live person. Like I said, making tech personal, and you can conduct business the same way you would if you were coming into the branch. You can insert a stack of checks to deposit, and it'll scan them, produce image receipts of those. You can be talking to a customer service rep here at the bank, and the footprint that it actually takes up is much smaller.
Right.
And we're doing that with some touchscreen kiosks and a lot of additional add-on things, some fun stuff, some social media stuff along with that to make it kind of neat for the new Seidman School downtown. Very excited about that. We're going to be the first in Michigan that I know of that's offering that kind of technology. But that's, maybe where we see the future of how banking's done. Instead of putting those multi-million-dollar branches on every corner, why not put these in your business customer locations for a much lower cost? Why not put them even up on Michigan Hill with the medical kind of
medical mile, right?
Medical mile, and we've combined this too with our free ATM policy. So this ATM down at the Seidman School is going to be free to anybody. So you can, I don't know of too many of these out there where you can walk up, take money out of that ATM. It doesn't matter if you're a Mercantile customer or not. It's not going to charge you a fee.
That's awesome.
That I think is unheard of these days. But the intent there is really for us to promote that as a Mercantile customer, every ATM is free. So whether you're traveling within the United States or abroad, any ATM you walk up to, you can use for free. And if they charge you, we reimburse that for an ATM charge. So
wow,
we're trying to get that message across. So, but that's kind of, in a long-winded way, some of the things I see going on in the way that technology is changing the future of banking. So,
well, I know that from a kiosk standpoint, I've had an opportunity to meet with some pretty innovative people over probably about the past 18 months, and it's everything from large staffing companies that are doing the same, pursuing the same concept from a medical standpoint. There are some HR companies that are doing it now from a employee relations standpoint. So the fact that you guys are doing that, that's pretty leading edge, because a lot of these guys don't know how they're going to deliver it, and you're installing one. So that's pretty impressive. All right, so we've been talking for a little while. My hook, because we talked about it. Let's talk about maybe the biggest mistake that you've encountered, or if you could go back and change one thing, what would you do differently, or that you can share? Obviously, I mean, some of the stuff is obviously confidential, but
yeah, having grown as fast as we did, and trying to launch a lot of new technology, and some projects we've done, haven't gone as well. Obviously, we're aggressive. We know the risks of taking chances and trying to launch new things. We've had a lot of great success stories, but certainly had our share of frustrations behind the scenes in trying to launch some of this stuff. But that's part of the price you pay, I guess, if you're going to try to be out there on the leading edge. So there are a number of projects I would have changed how we approached them if I had a time machine to go back to. But
when you say change them, are you talking? Would you have planned a little bit better? Would you have spent a little bit more time kind of situation analysis and going through some scenarios, perhaps? Or
definitely it would probably more foresight into the planning aspects of it, and then making sure we had the right vendor partners, and making sure that we had thought through maybe some of the issues that could come up. Some of the stuff you just can't anticipate what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know, but I do know now some of the things that I'd love to go back and change our approach on a few different things. But overall, I mean, I can't complain too much. That's really kind of a minor point. If you're looking for a more scandalous big mistake, I might have those, but I probably won't share those with you. So.
That's okay. We'll let you off the hook. But I guess that one of the things that I carry around, and I can show it to you sometime, is I've got a little a fortune that I got at my favorite Chinese restaurant, and I know that if you've watched a bunch of the BizWestMichigan interviews, I've talked about this before, but it's people learn little from success, but much from failure. And that's really kind of one of the things. That's why I kind of do the hook on here is, what's your biggest mistake, and something like that where taking the time to think through it a little bit, definitely understand, do a little bit of situation analysis, do a little bit of, worst case scenario, what if this doesn't work, or what if we're installing this technology and everything stops, which is everybody's worst nightmare, because we're all, when I was talking with you, going over your bio and some of the things that you cover, especially even on LinkedIn, if you look at just what it says your responsibility is for LinkedIn, you do a lot of different things. Technology is touching, every part of our business now. So I guess that's, I'll kind of chime into your, the technology stuff, and definitely from the stuff that you're dealing with. It's certainly terrifying to to a lot of people in business from a money standpoint. But just take the time to plan. Take the time to go through it. You may not feel like you have the time because you're under deadlines, but it can certainly pay off huge long term.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, we try to pass that experience along to our customers too. And I meet a lot with our business customers and talk about, their technology and what they're doing. Not that I'm an expert on any given industry, but sharing some of those past experiences and mistakes that we've made, it crosses a lot of business boundaries, and we've been able to help just, be a consultant role, and I don't charge for that. My time is pretty cheap, so it's something we do is just a value-added service to our customers, and that's the benefit, I guess, of having a local community bank where you can reach out and touch the senior management and the people that do this type of stuff. It's not just about banking services; it's about helping businesses succeed.
Well, perfect. Well, that's really the whole premise behind BizWestMichigan is we're focused here specifically in West Michigan, and we're trying to to make Michigan. My line that I used when I was contacted Lansing, and I said, look, my whole goal is to just make Michigan greater. I think we're already great. I think we've got a great business community here in West Michigan. So, John, I really appreciate taking the time to go through the interview, and we appreciate everything that Mercantile is doing for West Michigan. So, thank you very much.
Thanks, Rob, and I'm definitely going to be following the work you guys do. This stuff is very interesting to see what other people in the community are doing. So appreciate you going out and doing what you do as well.
Cool. All right. Well, again, everybody, thanks for tuning into BizWest Michigan, and we'll talk with you guys soon. Take care.
Take care.